Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Went hunting this morning with my dad. No luck at all. We didn't hear a gobble. The mosquitoes were terrible, and it was raining, and the rain was getting worse, and the gobbling just wasn't happening. But I want to kind of mention one thing, or a couple things real quick. I know everybody says this, but I honestly think that the hunting, there's like a little small chunk right around here in South Alabama where the turkey hunting is harder than it is in most everywhere else. I'm sure there's other little pockets like this, and I'm sure some of you guys can relate, but the hunting's just tough. And I think what it is we've got, or one of the things that leads into that causes this is we've got a ton of hens. Like, our turkey population is decent, but we have just few enough gobblers to where these gobblers are rarely, at least during season, they are rarely without a hen. You'll catch one every now and then without a hen, but like, we spooked a bird. Me and my dad spooked a bird yesterday morning. It was one gobbler and like 7 hens, which that's a lot of turkeys for around here in the springtime. And if one gobbler has 7 hens with him, I mean, he services a few of those hens, and then the hens move to a different gobbler, he moves to a different set of hens. I mean, you do the math, and that's just a lot of hens for the gobblers. And with relatively low turkey density, those turkeys don't have to work super hard to find a hen, but there's, I don't know, I think I'm just making excuses. That's a very elaborate excuse, but the turkey hunting's really tough. But it's noon 30 right now. It'll be about 1:30 when I get to my hunting club and get everything ready. Gonna try me a little midday-ish afternoon hunting. I'm hoping these gobblers have kind of broken up with their hens, and as it gets into afternoon feeding time, I'll start looking for some hens, and maybe I can just be lucky enough to be in an area where a gobbler has broken up from his hens and wants to find a hen. Guys, so I'm actually gonna get this way for a little bit. Last night it rained, and this morning it rained pretty good. So if I see any sign, it should be pretty fresh, at least today. But the reason I'm coming out to this section and this time of day and all that, like I mentioned earlier, the gobblers should be away from their hens for a little while. Midday, I'm hoping the hens are doing some nesting, getting disinterested with the turkeys at some point. Oh, fresh turkey track. Look at that, look at here. I think it's a hen track. Might not be as fresh as I think, but good sign. But yeah, they're out making a living all day, so there's never a time during the daylight when you have a 0% chance of killing a turkey. So that's kind of what brings me out here all the time. But I haven't been to this section of a hunting club this year because we haven't heard any gobbles up here. However, in the past, and I mean like my whole life, this area of my lease is usually, there's an old turkey turd. This whole area of my lease usually has the highest turkey density. I don't know what it is. It's higher elevation. It's there's an old gobbler track, I think. It's I guess it's better turkey habitat, but there's also a lot more predators up here, which could lead into why they're not gobbling. But either way, I'm out here. I think I've seen enough of this. I was just gonna track this road a little bit. I'm just gonna walk around. If I find some really fresh sign, tracks and scratching and whatnot, or maybe if I see a turkey, I can set up on it. Goal today is to kill something, so that's what we're gonna try to do. Y'all stay tuned. It's a long-eared turkey, and he sees me. Oh my God! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! I couldn't figure out what that was first off. Oh my God! First long-beard I've seen. He saw me, couldn't figure me out. He might come this way. I'm gonna make a couple calls. I'm just gonna sit right here and see. Myself included, have recently thought that they might be a cryptid, like Bigfoot, but in fact, I've got video evidence of one. I think this might be the first one ever recorded in the wild. So they do exist. Bad news is he's not there anymore, so I don't know what to do right now. I don't know where he went. I come around this corner and all I saw was a black blob. And at first I'd seen some hog tracks on the way in. At first I literally thought it was a pig laid up in the shade. And then I saw it stick its head up and I saw that beard just sticking out there. And I was like kicking myself. I was mad because I didn't really sneak up here. I didn't even have my face mask on, nothing. But he went back to feed and I thought if I got out of his sight and started calling, he'd come check me out, try to figure me out, but I've had it work before, but it didn't work today. But they do exist. I think I'm gonna give this spot just a few more minutes, and then I really want to go into the food plot, but I'm not going to because they still could be pretty close to it. I think what I'm gonna do is make a big loop, and then come back to a section of the pipeline. I know a way to get through the woods to this one little spot, and I've seen quite a few turkeys hang out there. They like walking up and down that pipeline a decent bit. Man, I just don't know. I ain't got a clue what to do right now. Alright, so what I've done now is, I don't know if you can tell behind me, there's like some young pines, really thick stuff, and there's an old road that goes through the middle of that. Basically, I just walked down that road and then made a cut into these big pines. That pipeline is like 80 yards in front of me, but while I was on that road, I saw 2 sets of gobbler tracks, and that was the only tracks on that road. And that had to have been them going down the road and then cutting into this pipeline to get to
a different call. Maybe one that entices them a bit more. I have a feeling they might come check me out. I may have moved way too slow. I may be losing time by doing this, but I'm not super worried about it. I just don't want to spook them. I really, really want to kill one, but I really don't want to spook them. But I've got a decently good feeling if I can get to this pipeline, they might come on and check me out. I just gotta be slow and quiet. Alright guys, a quick change of plans, I believe. My truck is that way. Nothing's in the pipeline, obviously. But my truck is that way. The turkeys are that way. Between me and my truck. And I'm either gonna have to walk 200 yards through this stuff for the second time, or I can go across this creek and wait for my dad. Cause he came hunting after I did. And I really don't want to screw these birds up more than I possibly already have. So, I think that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anyone get a wild turkey with a beard on camera. It's like the rarest thing. I mean, most people who hunt Bigfoots, most people who hunt Bigfoots never get even close to getting a wild turkey on camera, but they get Bigfoots all the time. Hold on just a second, let's see what this is. Is that a deer in that farthest food plot? I can't tell, it might be nothing. Might be grass. I forgot my binoculars. But what I was saying, basically it's harder to get a long beard around here on camera than it is to get Bigfoot on camera. So, and it's twice as hard to kill them. But, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe I can get on that bird in the morning. I'm being very careful on the way out.
Alright guys, well my dad's gonna tell his story from the afternoon, make the video a little bit more interesting.
Well, about,
Hold on
I don't
just
know.
a second.
I got in there got up there about 3:45 and walked up on, my plan was to sit at the edge of a food plot until an hour or so before fly up and see what went on. And I got up to the food plot and I had cleared, peeking around the corner, I had cleared about 80% of the food plot. And then I remembered I read a Tom Kelly book, and he said turkeys in the field like sunshine, but not that much. They'll be on the shady side of the field in the afternoon, and right about the edge of the shade I saw a turkey, luckily pointed the other way, feeding. And so I ducked down and hid and pulled out my binoculars and figured out what it was. It was a, I thought it was a hen initially, and then I got to looking. The more I looked, after several minutes and studying the thing a bit, it had no beard, but finally it fed from my right to my left, and in that profile view I could see that its head was and neck was 8-9 inches long, and it was white, and the bulb wattle right down there, one of them was red, pinkish red, and I could see a bump on his chest. So it was either, I don't really think it was a Jake turkey. I really think it was a mature turkey, at least a 2-year-old, that had beard rot.
That might have been the same one I saw, because I saw the first one I saw in that plot had a white head, but it looked a lot like a hen.
He's got a white head for sure. One of his wattles had pinkened up a little bit red, so I said, well, he's a gobbler. And I couldn't determine if he was a jake or a mature bird with that beard rot, but I could see that he did have a small beard. And I said, well, if it's a jake, I'm not going to bushwhack him, which would have been real easy. I was within range. And I said, well, no, if it's a jake, I'm going to call him up. And then if I call him up, I've earned him. If it's not, so be it. And that was about 4, and then 5:45 from the far side of the plot, a hen got in the mix, and she walked across the field. I had gone up and checked on him about twice, from 4 to 6, to make sure he was still there and I wasn't calling to thin air. And he was still there the whole time. And about 5:45 I saw that hen. I had called just previous to that, and he ran his head up and he started feeding my way. And I thought, well, I'm gonna call him up, and I will have earned him instead of bushwhacking him. And when I saw that hen come out, I called to her and she looked, but they fed on to the northwest corner of the plot out of my sight. And I stood up a little bit, 5 to 10 minutes after 6, to go check on them and see if they were still in the plot. I could sneak to the corner and see. And as I stood up 60, 80 yards north of the plot, I heard them fly up. And they couldn't have seen me. They just decided it was time to go to bed.
What time was that again?
10 after 6.
Yeah, that's about
and then I walked on down to the end of the road where I had wanted to go if nothing had been in the food plot, and I got almost where I wanted to go. I sat up, clucked a little bit, heard one cluck back north of me, and then at 7:15, or little after 7, it was probably 7:10, I heard one east of me fly up. So I got 3 birds roosted, and I got to go to work in the morning.
I guess that means I got to kill him.
You couldn't kill them with a killing machine.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. We got to get home. Hopefully I can kill one of them birds that he saw, or maybe I'll come up here. I don't know. I'll probably go kill that jake. I'll bushwhack him. I'm not opposed to it. But we'll catch you guys next time. Always remember to live life 25 feet high. And yeah, see you later.